A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel, the Twin Flame Union. In this channeling session, I would be talking about a divine feminine, and this divine feminine is representing a lot of other divine feminines who have been doing good amount of inner work, and they have spent huge amount of time also. These are not new divine feminines or new twin flamers. This channeling is for those who have been in this journey for quite some time, and they have gone through various types of abuse in the childhood, and when they grew up they realized that they also had deep amount of narcissistic abuse in their lives, because of which they had attracted life partners who were extremely selfish and self-centered. For a long time, these divine feminines have also realized and noticed that either they had one long-term relationship, very long relationship, or whatever number of relationships they've had, they've always been in long-term relationships. So then you would be able to resonate with this channeling, because in this channeling, the divine feminine completely ignores the divine masculine, and not only she ignores the divine masculine, but she also puts him in his place. She puts him in his place. This is the energy of this channeling. And let me also tell you that this is a type of dynamic, with the twin flame also, because twin flames are your soul family members. So some of you would go through this energetically also. How do you put a divine masculine in his place energetically also, even if you are in no contact situation? Some of you are in totally like communicating and talking to each other, sending messages and making phone calls, as I said. Some of you are also could be living together. Some of you could be married. So please do not confuse this journey based on what your physical scenario is, and don't even compare your relationship, your physical manifestation, the three-dimensional manifestation of your relationship with other people, because every single divine feminine is supposed to heal a certain type of template. So no matter how it appears to you right now, however it appears to you right now, do not compare it with other people, because I know there are a lot of healers and readers online, and again, I'm not saying this to demotivate anyone or to stop doing your work or whatever. I'm just generally saying that a lot of people online say this, that twin flames, either they say they cannot be married people cannot be twin flames. Then they mention things like age has to do something with twin flames, like if you are in your 50s or your 60s, you cannot be a twin flame. Or then some people say that, oh, you never met your twin flame, like met as in you haven't met your twin flame in such a long time. No, then you might not have done any work, or all of your, because you need a proof in 3D, you need a validation in 3D. And this is the reason why I mention this categorically in most of my channelings, especially in the past few months, or you can say 1 year or more. I mean, you can say since this corona pandemic happened in the world, I'm seeing a big change, because before that, earlier, as in previously, the world before corona, I would say, the world before COVID was slightly different. In fact, in many areas, quite different. And when I say slightly different, I'm talking about the twin flame world, okay? And otherwise, there was obviously a huge difference. We all can see that huge difference. Our lifestyles have got completely changed and impacted. Most people in Ascension are happy post 2020. They are much happier. They are much more peaceful. They like the calm, peacefulness. They like the less pollution. They like the fact that, so many people are working from home. Thus, they are not contributing to useless transportation related pollution, useless traveling of going here and there. So many things have changed. And we don't know what's going to happen in future yet. Okay, we just have to wait and watch. But I can definitely say that if you are a twin flamer, or if you're seriously in this journey for last few years, definitely you are contributing. You are contributing in the ascension journey of planet Earth. So if you have any doubts about your life, please don't have those doubts, okay? And don't compare your life with anyone. This channeling will resonate perfectly with people who are married to their twin flame and living under the same roof, okay? And still going through very difficult situations with them, very painful twin flame journey. Don't think that those who are married and living together, they are having a great time as twin flame couples. Then you could be completely single, doing your inner work, doing your things, living in your own world. You may not be even in contact with your divine masculine for a good number of years. But you are doing the inner work and ascension work. And how do you know that this ascension work is, actually doing some change in your life? You are the deciding factor, because if you feel more peaceful, if you feel more loved by your own self, if you feel more connected with source, if you feel that your health has improved, overall peace of mind has changed, overall the way you looked at life has changed, you have progressed, you are not anxious anymore. You don't think about the DM the way you used to. There is a big difference in how you used to think about him also. You feel that change. So even if you're in no contact, it does not make any difference, because the progress has been made. The progress is going on. Okay? And don't listen to anyone who talks about this age, that age, or this gender or that gender, or this situation or that situation is not for twin flames, it's for somebody else. Please don't listen to that. Twin flame ascension journey is specifically designed so that an individual can ascend. That's it. And with their ascension, the earth will ascend. Okay? And all of the twin flamers eventually have to learn couple of things. Number one, unconditional love. Pure love exists. Asexuality exists, and asexuality is being practiced by many people all over the planet. This is also one thing that they learn. Because many of the twin flames have forced themselves into sexual relationships, intercourses, copulations, because it is a norm. It is a regular thing. I mean, everyone is having sex. So you feel that, okay, if I am the one who does not want to do it, there must be something wrong with me. But in ascension journey, you realize that this is just a three-dimensional thing. It's not for 5D people. Okay? So you understand this situation better now. Then you also understand love towards other beings in the twin flame journey. Maybe 11 years back, you were eating non-veg food continuously, maybe 4 times in a week. You were drinking alcohol. It was very normal for you to go every Friday night to the bar and have few drinks. Or it was very normal for you to drink regularly even during the week. But now after ascension work, you realize that you don't need to eat meat. Meat is not good for ascension journey. Please understand. It's alright you drink milk and all the other things. I know vegan movements are going on, but even vegan people care for the animals. They are protesting against these things because there are certain types of people, and it happens more so in the Western countries because of the way they produce milk, It happens in India also. In India, it is more shocking sometimes because India is a land of spiritual masters. India is a land for ascension, and they are the most ancient lands actually. Indian subcontinent, which includes India, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, all these countries, they are very old countries. Hind Mahasagar, we can say, Indian Ocean, all these areas. But still, these were the places that used to be called as the golden bird. These were the places where ancient scriptures, Vedic education was normally accepted, as in it was a part of daily life. But sadly, after British colonization, things have drastically changed. In just 100, 200 years, you see the same India, which was a purely vegetarian country, so many people have started eating meat. While the Western cultures are giving up on non-veg food, while the Western cultures are accepting herbs and herbal cures, while the other nations are accepting Shiva, Vishnu, Ram, Sita, Lakshmi, Ganesh, all the other gods, where the other countries are now accepting, and they're not just accepting, they're very much interested in the sound energy, because the ancient Indians had mastered sound energy. They were the masters of sound energy. They know that everything shifts in the planet because of certain sounds and chants. But in India, these things are taken for granted, not even granted, they are just ignored, and people are just running after useless materialistic things. The lifestyle changes sometimes shocks you, that is it the same country, is it the same land which other people seek? So this is the reason why, before I would say the corona pandemic hit, many travelers, even I met so many of them, many hippies, many backpackers used to travel all the way to India, and they used to enjoy this country, enjoy India and Nepal. They used to enjoy the high vibration, because the vibration here is very high. But unfortunately or fortunately, that vibe can only be felt. That can only be felt for those people who are looking for it. You could be standing on the same road, and two people could be standing on the same road. One could be living in hell and one could be living in heaven. At the same stop, in fact. And for one person, the other may not be visible, and for the other one may not be visible. This is the magic of vibration. And now I think, because we are going to be living in the 5-dimensional world from now onwards, for a lot of us, this vibration will not just stay limited to land only. So now it's not like, okay, you are in America or Europe or some other country, Middle East, so you cannot feel this high vibration. You can feel it anywhere if you practice the right things. You can create your own Vedic education. You can create because everything is now online and everything is readily available. The sun is available everywhere. The moon is available everywhere. Right? It doesn't shine only on some countries and some lands, and and also these divisions of nation. It was very methodologically or very meticulously done at one time, because the dark energies, the reptilian extraterrestrials, they also have a lot of information about timelines, about the ages, about when they are the weakest and when they are at high power, and they work accordingly. And their biggest manipulation is even when it is not their age and time, because the dark energies, they belong in the dark age, they belong in the Kali Yuga. But even when they know that we don't belong in the Satyug, or we don't belong in the Treta, or we don't belong in the Dwapar, they will still keep trying to fit in somewhere. They want their energy to never die. And because of this reason only, the nirvanas or the high vibrational beings, they also then try to fit in wherever they can. So even in Kali Yuga, the energy of the golden age was carried on by the saints and by the masters. And these masters and saints, they were all most of them were born in the Indian land on purpose, because they know that if in the dark ages a normal person cannot manage or control this type of energy, and this is also another reason why the dark ages came. You can say the last continent that the last continent or the last piece of land that they tried to affect was actually India and Nepal. And you would be really shocked to know, or surprised to know, that Nepal is the only country in the whole world which never got colonized. British people could never colonize it. Until date, they say that it's the land of Shiva. Pashupati Nath temple is in Kathmandu, Nepal. It is one of the most sacred land, and to be honest, I would not have done so much research about India and Nepal. The only reason I ended up doing this research, and I also did this research after getting into ascension work. Before that, I was also like everyone else. I just had to do my work. I had to go to office. I wanted my salary end of every month. I was driving to work every day, morning 1 hour, evening 1 hour, night 1 hour. I had no life. I literally had no life of my own. I was a stupid person who was living like a zombie. So it's only when the awakening process started, thanks to my masters, I feel that I also got shut down like most of you for a number of years in between. Like during childhood, I was very aware and very open and aware, like many of you. I didn't even speak. I remember my parents have told me this, that I never spoke in first person about myself. I always spoke about myself as if I was another person. So imagine that was the level. Like I would never say I want to go to sleep. I would say, it's funny because it's in Nepalese or Hindi language, so I'll just simply translate. I would say things like, the baby wants to go to sleep now. Or I would have some nicknames for myself and then call myself with the same nicknames and say that, the child is hungry. You should give milk to the child now. The child wants to sleep. So my parents used to be like, who speaks like this? We haven't taught her this, she just naturally speaks like this. And this went on for a few years. And there are many other things which obviously I don't want to talk about here because this is a channeling session, and this is just an example, and I know you all can relate. Sometimes we also give examples so that other people can relate. It's no longer my own personal example. I know that many of us are in twin flame journey and many of us are in ascension journey. So in many forms or many ways, some of the things would always be shared by us all, So now obviously 2020 things have changed drastically. And those of you who have been in no contact situation, some of you are also not only in no contact, but some of you are also living alone by choice. Like if you all decide, if any one of you decides, you put on the hot dress, you go online. I mean, there are many methods and ways to get someone, but you don't want to do it. You're not interested in doing that. You're just so bored with it. You don't want to put yourself out. Like some people say that you are not willing to put yourself out because you're conscious or because you're shy or you're unhealed and blah, blah, blah. But you know that that's not the case for you. You really don't want to put yourself out there for anyone. You're not interested. You understand that this is just stupid wastage of my time. You don't want to interact with people not because you hate people or you are unhealed. You don't want to interact with people because you don't want to. You're so happy in your world. You're happy getting up in the morning, doing your thing. So some of those people, please don't think that just because, my DM has not contacted me in all these 3, 4, 5 years and I might not have done any work because somebody on the internet said that, no one has contacted you, so you have not done any work. Of course you have not. There's nothing to prove. That's not true. As I said, you are the proof. You know yourself much better than anyone, any Tom, Dick and Harry can know you. Right? You know yourself the best actually. So if you feel very peaceful, very content, and you don't even want that twin flame of yours to come in your life right now because you're so peaceful. You're so much in gratitude. You're so connected to source that you're scared. Yes, I can definitely say there is a fear, but that fear is, what if this person comes back to me? My whole life will go for a toss. I don't want to meet that person. That fear could be there. Now, in comparison to those who are in communication and contact or living together and still doing ascension work, how is it slightly different for you is because you are living with those people, or as per how some of the 3-dimensional coaches would tell you, you are in contact, okay? But you also are feeling the same thing. You are also upset or angry about the way they have treated you in the past. So some of you have become very empowered. Earlier, what was happening is the divine masculine would message you and say, hi, happy birthday, or hey, how have you been? And they have not messaged you for like 4 or 5 months You had some conversation 4-5 months back. He hurt you, he said something mean to you, or you said something to him. And after that, he did not contact you. And suddenly you see the message after 4-5 months, which says, hey, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. Like very simple message. Your heartbeat will start, like all the inner work that you have done, you'll totally forget about it. That was the you before. The past you, the you in the past tense, okay? Now also he's doing similar things. He's not messaging you every day, but he drops a message here and there after every 3 months or 4 months. Maybe the messages have become more intense because you are doing more inner work and you don't get so excited by whatever things he has to say. So maybe the intensity has changed. Like if earlier he would say, hey, how are you? And you would be the one to write 10 lines to him and then he would vanish again. This time he is the one who's writing 10 lines and you are writing one line like, what's up? How are you? So you are going through this change, and this is not a change that you have put on, like, or you're purposely doing it. It happens when you get done with people. It happens when you keep forgiving people, but they don't change. They are still so selfish. They are still living in those narcissistic energies where it's all about them, and they know if they come back to you, if they keep messaging you, if they keep, asking you what's up and this and that, maybe you have long phone calls, where you talk to each other. And over the phone and on the messages, they are very apologetic sometimes. They go like, yeah, I know I've hurt you and I'm sorry. But why do they come back to you? You obviously uplift them in some way or the other. So they need the energy. It is all the energy game, After talking to you for 2 hours over the phone, they feel very charged up and you feel very drained because they will either hang up very abruptly, like they were not even talking to you. They'll never call you back. They'll never be like, okay, you know what, I had to leave for something, so I just hung up. I'm so sorry, I'll call you back again. Or, they don't check on you again. And this is something like, you have sex with someone, you have intercourse with someone. Before the intercourse, they're very excited. They'll tell you all lovey-dovey things, all sweet things, romantic things. And the moment the moment your copulation is complete, they will just put on their clothes and run away. This is how they behave. This is how you feel actually. You feel very cheated and very naked when some people steal your energy. Because it's all about selfishness. You understand selfishness much better. So now you don't want to give them your energy. You feel like, do I really need to talk to them? Was I the one who was missing them so badly that I contacted them or I called them or I messaged them? No. They contacted me, they communicated with me, they wanted to talk to me. So why can't they be nicer? Why can't they behave better? Why can't they make efforts to make me feel loved? Why is it that they only want to be loved? Like, even if they will tell you, I love you, in return they would be like, do you love me too? Tell me, do you love me? Okay, at least tell me you love me or not. So it feels like as if they just want to hear those words. Like even if you say, yeah, I love you too, they don't understand that they are forcing you to say it. You don't really mean it. And the only time you are going to mean it, the only time you're going to say it from your heart is the time when that's the time you won't even need to say it. Even they would get to know it without any words. That this person respects me, because at this point in time, you don't respect this divine masculine at all. You feel that this divine masculine is all gas, all gas and no shit. This is a funny way of saying. Like some people, they just say so many things. They constantly say this, that, big words. But when it comes to doing anything, they cannot do nothing for anyone. So you've been noticing this type of behavior for a long time. Now, as I said, energetically, everything happens. So for those who are in no contact, I'll tell you how it works for you all. Earlier, when these thoughts used to come about the divine masculine, you would entertain those thoughts a lot. You would spend many, many hours into it, sometimes many days into it. So you started working, you started doing ascension work, you started focusing only on source. And now when their thoughts come, you don't spend time on their thoughts at all, because you know that those thoughts are going to drain you. And even if you spend time on those thoughts, you are very smart in doing your homework. You can easily differentiate between what that person did to you. You can easily tell yourself that, you know what, you remember all the bad things they did to you. You know, you are not in conflict anymore. You know that the reason why this relationship did not work out, or the reason why you felt so demotivated and so sad, is because this person really said and did some really horrible things to you. Now you don't want to revisit those things. You don't want to feel low self-esteem, lack of love or anything. So you don't want to entertain their thoughts. You just understand that they manipulated you. You no longer feel that, oh, that person loved me, because this is the picture they gave to you before running away from you. Before they ran away from you, whatever they said to you was a big lie, big fat lie. They told you that you are the wrong person, that you are the bad person, that you don't deserve their love, and you are this and you are that. And then they vanished because they were just trying to convince themselves, or they were just trying to tell themselves that, you know, they wanted to leave you any which way. They had used you, or they had taken something from your soul which only belonged to you, a very pure and innocent part of you, something to do with unconditional love. They took it from you for their ego satisfaction, you know, to feel good about themselves, that, okay, look at this woman, you know, she was so smart, or she was so this and so that, and I fooled her. I made her do what I wanted to do. I dominated her. I controlled her. And then they ran away from you. So you now understand that they were simply trying to satisfy their ego, and now you don't think about them at all. And if you think about them, you go like, God bless them, whatever. May God show them the true things. Or you don't dwell on their thoughts at all. You don't like to entangle yourself in their thoughts, because you know that way you waste your energy. Now, for people who are in relationships where they are more, you know, like intimately close, doesn't matter. I'll tell you, it's all about energy. If energetically two people are not close to each other, they could be sitting on the same couch for whole day. It doesn't matter. Because both of them would be not connected mentally, emotionally. Like, there are people who are probably even involving in physical intimacy every day. If not physical intimacy every day, then maybe, you know, on regular intervals they are physically involved with this person, but they feel like a dead body at the end of it. So it feels like very, very horrible to them. So, or sometimes it feels like, you know, it's just some kind of a process, like you wake up in the morning, you have to brush your teeth. It's something like that. So the divine feminine has started thinking that, do I really want this type of relationship? Do I really want this type of love? Do I have to cook food for such a person, or do I have to present myself to this person, you know? So maybe she decides to move into a separate room. Maybe they live under the same house, under the same roof, but she no longer wants to share a bed with this person. She tells this person that, and it's very obvious, you know, it doesn't matter. You could have children, so two people decide to continue because they have children together, or two people decide to continue because they have some business together, and they both know that they're really good in their work. But they just continue because they're like, okay, there is some reason because of which they are together. So that reason is of prime importance, but not them. So the feminine here again becomes very strong. And even if she's with this person, she's emotionally not the same person. You know, like if she has to cook food and she's cooking food for everyone, she would probably not cook food for this person. And I'm not saying it in a mean way. She would probably ask some other family member to do it for them. Or she would probably give up that cooking duty altogether, and she would ask some other person, maybe her sister, or maybe her, if she's like in slightly higher age, like 40, 50, 60, she would ask her daughter-in-law to cook food, because she doesn't want to serve this man anymore. she shifts to another room. She says, I don't want to share a bed with him. Why should I share a bed with him? And why do I need to even share a bed with anyone? She feels like that. Or if they were in an intimate relationship, sexually active relationship, and she was struggling with asexuality for a long time, she now understands that in unconditional love, you don't need to have this type of a relationship with anyone. So she tells him that I'm not going to sleep with you anymore. Like, I can share a bed with you, but I'm not going to sleep with you. And she is so happy in her own world. She's so self-satisfied now that she literally is powerful enough to not do it. So there are many changes. Now, as I said, I have to give you this disclaimer that every single person out there is going through their own personal journey. Okay? Please keep this in mind. Always keep this in mind and do not compare your life or your journey with anybody else. And also for personal readings, guidance on dream interpretation, counseling and therapies, please go through the description box first, and once you're sure, then write to me at thesunamoon@gmail.com. I get quite a few mails and inquiries. So I say this in every channeling, but still I don't know why people miss out on it. You can check all of this information. It's very clearly mentioned over there. When it comes to twin flame intuitive readings, or even otherwise also, I prefer not knowing anything about your twin flame journey before the reading. Because if you tell me everything before the reading, then the reading can never be a genuine reading. Please share your questions, and during the reading, we'll tell you exactly what's happening, or we'll give you the solutions, and during the reading, we'll discuss your journey. All right, but not before that, because it's logically not wise to do that, right? Even you want to get correct answers, even you want the best solutions. So it's better you don't do it like that. But when it comes to therapies, and now therapies are a very important part of this journey, I must say, because many a times it so happens that there are these trauma areas which are stuck somewhere. Or maybe you don't have the right technique. You're doing really well, but then you feel that again you get drained, and you don't know why you're getting drained. You really don't know. Some of the times, even in readings, these things come out, because I think that some of the divine feminines have reached to such higher states that even in reading, they ask very wise questions which are related to the only ascension work. So they are stuck somewhere, and it comes out in the reading. And then they understand that, okay, this is the reason why things have been like this with my divine masculine also. Because in ascension work, everything is interconnected, and you should obviously be more concerned about your ascension journey. So in case of therapies, you have to share different facets of your life so that we can heal the wounded inner child. This healing of wounded inner child leads to the 5D union. And 5D union is the most important pillar, because without that, there is no 3D union. You can also get my book In the Name of Love, which has 5 channel twin flame stories based on the journey of finding your ultimate soulmate. The link is also given in the description box. You can connect with me on Instagram for fun updates, the Sunamoon Goddess, and I also give the same ID to those who get into therapies and readings. You can also subscribe to the Sunamoon vlogs to get interesting content that supports ascension lifestyle. Also, one more big difference between reading and therapies is that during therapies, we are in constant communication with each other. Whosoever is taking the therapy, that person is in touch with me constantly. So we discuss many things, because there are so many things that happen during the therapy sessions. In the reading, the communication is limited only till the reading, not after that. All right. So this is one of the difference. Now, coming towards the conclusion of this particular energy channeling is that whatever the case is, whether the divine feminine is living alone, whether she's over the phone, messages, video calls, whatever you want to call it, or whether she's living in with that person in whatever capacity, she is no longer giving away her energy to the divine masculine. And this is not happening because she is in anger mode right now. No. It's because she does not want to waste her energy. She does not want to live in lower frequency. She cannot. Even if she tries to, she will do it for some time and then she will be like, no. This is not my cup of tea. I'm not enjoying it at all. I don't enjoy this at all now. So this is a good thing actually. This is a good news. Alright. There is more coming up in this space. So, but all I can say is that this is a good place to be in. Not getting affected by other people. Whether you are in a crowd or whether you are alone, in any which way, you have begun to enjoy your solitude. And this, my dear friends, you are not doing it by reading in a book. You're not doing it because you read a quote. This is happening to you for real because you're living it for real. On that note, thank you so much for being here with me. One love and peace out.